We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some absolutely huge news regarding the Fiend Bray Wyatt's future following his release from WWE. As some of you have likely heard by now, Bray Wyatt is officially no longer under that 90-day non-compete clause with WWE, with that clause running up yesterday on October 29th. And as of today, Bray Wyatt, aka Windham Rotunda, is now a free agent who is able to sign with any wrestling company he wants, or to do whatever he chooses after WWE. However, while the huge recent rumors and speculation indicated that Bray Wyatt was guaranteed to be joining either AEW, All Elite Wrestling, or Impact Wrestling as a second option, with the new rumors and reports revealed, both of these options, along with a WWE return, may shockingly be out of the question for Bray Wyatt, and Bray may surprisingly be leaving wrestling altogether, unfortunately. Now, if you hadn't heard yet, one of our sources has reported that Bray Wyatt has recently been inquiring about Hollywood projects in Los Angeles. With the official statement reading, we're told that Bray Wyatt has been in Los Angeles of late fielding inquiries regarding Hollywood projects. And this isn't surprising considering Bray Wyatt, aka Windham, was spotted in Los Angeles recently at an alleged Warner Bros. Property. Now, a lot of fans have speculated that Bray Wyatt could still be joining AEW now that his non-compete clause with WWE has officially run up, especially considering Warner Bros., where Bray Wyatt was recently spotted, have ties to All Elite Wrestling. However, there are now big rumors that Bray Wyatt's next move or project outside of WWE will not have anything to do with wrestling, meaning that Bray Wyatt may not even be returning to wrestling whatsoever, whether for AEW, Impact Wrestling, or a WWE return. It was also stated that this is not the first time there has been interest from Bray Wyatt in Hollywood, with there apparently previously being a pitch that would have seen Bray Wyatt involved with the movie while he was still under contract with WWE. Although of course that did not end up happening for obvious reasons. One final note we definitely have to share when it comes to Bray Wyatt is that he has officially changed his Twitter profile and removed WWE from it now that his non-compete clause with the company is over, with Bray now having the Twitter handle @Windham6. With reports going around that moving forward, Bray Wyatt will be using the name Windham. With all this being said, let us know your thoughts on the new rumors that Bray Wyatt may not even be planning a return to wrestling after his WWE release, and is instead going to be transitioning into acting and other Hollywood projects. Should Bray Wyatt come back to wrestling and join AEW like it has been speculated, or do you think that Bray would do better in Hollywood and should retire from the ring following his firing from WWE? Let us know down in the comment section below. We now have some huge news regarding the former Universal Champion Goldberg, and for the fans of Goldberg, it is pretty sad or tragic news depending on how you look at it. As many of you are likely aware, Goldberg performed at the recent Crown Jewel 2021 pay-per-view event in a winning effort against Bobby Lashley, and lots of fans were wondering what Goldberg's future in WWE is going to be after the event, as Goldberg essentially finished up his storyline with Bobby Lashley and got his revenge, and just the other day it was revealed that Goldberg only has one match left on his current WWE contract, with current backstage reports indicating that Vince McMahon plans for Goldberg to finish out this contract early next year, quite possibly at the 2022 Royal Rumble pay-per-view event. And after that event, the word behind the scenes right now is that WWE are going to be finished with Goldberg as an in-ring talent once he wrestles that last match on his current deal, with this apparently being something agreed upon between Goldberg and WWE, with one of our sources mentioning that Goldberg feels he has done enough during this latest run, which started all the way back in 2016, and that Goldberg is not wanting to continue the strenuous training that goes along with each and every match he has, because in order for Goldberg to look and perform the way he does these days at 54 years of age, the training sessions are extreme and very taxing on Goldberg. Hence the decision reportedly made that Goldberg will sadly be retiring from WWE after his final match next year in 2022. Now, by all means, as long as Goldberg performs well in his final match early next year, then Goldberg will be finishing off his in-ring career on a very high note, as his match against Bobby Lashley at Crown Jewel was definitely solid and a great showing from Goldberg overall. So Goldberg will be leaving the wrestling business in a positive light after performing some great matches, which is certainly good news for his fans. Regardless, let us know your thoughts on the rumors and speculation that once Goldberg wrestles that last match on his current deal with WWE, he will sadly or tragically be retiring and leaving the company afterwards. Should WWE try to re-sign Goldberg for another 3-match contract next year, or is Vince McMahon smart to cut ties with Goldberg soon? Let us know. Last night's episode of Friday Night SmackDown was certainly not the best of nights for the Beast incarnate Brock Lesnar, who was not even in attendance for the show in person, because on top of his indefinite suspension from WWE after attacking Adam Pearce last week on SmackDown, things only got worse on this week's edition of SmackDown, with Brock Lesnar now being fined $1 million on top of his suspension by none other than Adam Pearce. Now, as you would likely expect, this is not an actual or real fine for Brock Lesnar and is simply a part of the ongoing storyline of Brock Lesnar on SmackDown. But like we mentioned before, Brock is going to be gone and away from WWE for the next couple of months until around the 2022 Royal Rumble. And the indefinite suspension and now this $1 million fine is being done to really give Brock Lesnar a legitimate reason to be away from WWE for the foreseeable future. Regardless, it is definitely great storytelling on WWE's part, and there's no doubt that babyface Brock Lesnar will get a thunderous reaction from fans when he does re-emerge and return. Again, likely at the 2022 Royal Rumble. But in the meantime, WWE are doing their best to keep the storyline entertaining while Brock is away from television. Now, earlier we discussed how Goldberg has one match left on his current WWE contract, and once that match is finished, Goldberg will sadly be leaving WWE. And the real question that fans have now is who are WWE planning to match Goldberg up against in his final match? According to a new backstage rumor, as of right now, WWE are strongly favoring the current Universal Champion Roman Reigns to be Goldberg's last opponent, with Roman Reigns essentially then planned to retire Goldberg, which Vince McMahon feels will help build even more momentum for Roman Reigns as the dominant heel on SmackDown. So with Goldberg's feud against Bobby Lashley over and done with after Crown Jewel, fans can likely expect to see Goldberg re-emerge in WWE early next year on SmackDown, to set his sights on the Universal Championship and Roman Reigns, and this will reportedly be Goldberg's last match. And in all honesty, there really is not a better last meaningful opponent for Goldberg than the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. Especially considering the two superstars were scheduled to face off against each other at WrestleMania last year, and that match was unfortunately cancelled. With all this being said, do you think Roman Reigns should be chosen as Goldberg's last or retirement opponent early next year? Or is there another star on the WWE roster that you feel could use that win over Goldberg more than Roman Reigns? Let us know.